Hey everybody, Tommy G here, and we're gonna get in the Baron 58 with Gary. We're gonna fly the Carquinez straight. If we click on this, you can see we're leaving from Buchanan Field. Um, and this is, here's the Bay Area. So we're down here, in San Jose, made our way up to Buchanan, which is up here by, I forget what this area is up here, where he had his plane temporarily gonna take off, head out over the bay, land in Napa County. Once we get to Napa, we're gonna do the next one. We're gonna do a left pattern, and then I'm gonna buy this plane. So this is going to go, well, between Susan Bay and San Pablo Bay. That's what we're doing. All right. Anyway, check this out. Hey, everybody. Tommy G here in the back seat. Back there, the back of November 5-8 Echo uniform. We're getting ready to take off here to go fly out to Napa. And I figured I'd ride as a passenger because if I'm going to buy this thing, I want to see what it's going to be like for a passenger to do it. And again, we're going to fly. Gary's flying us out to Napa. We're going to do. We're going to do a pattern in Napa, and then when we get back down, I'm going to fill out the paperwork and buy this thing. So here we're leaving this airport. We're flying up north across the bay. But the moon going down there in the west. We've spent some time here in the Bay Area. Again, recently, Pete and I came in town to watch the final series, the championship series. I'm not going to give you any what's it called? Spoiler alerts to let you know what happened there. But we got a new champion, and it's those guys. So, anyway, enjoy the back seat. Got my cup holder here. Again, I pointed this out before. I don't think can't really touch this. Earphones here, mic. Got a music input, so you can put your music straight in here and just listen to tunes. So being grab on your drink, take a little drink there. Being a passenger to this aircraft is pretty posh, pretty comfy. And again, the idea is that I would get this thing, flying it with a friend, and then I could bring 4 other people here in the back seat. These are the regular back seats. It's kind of tight here. There's not a whole lot of headroom in the way back. You're right in front of the luggage back here, but you don't need a whole lot of room. And then there's club seating facing the other way. I like to sit facing forward, so plus this will give a better view of sort of the bay area that we're in. So yeah, we're going to Napa, which I think is San Francisco out over the wing. I think you're looking at it over there. I think that's the skyline on the other side. I mean, obviously Oakland would be on the other side of that hill, and then on the other side of the bay from Oakland is San Francisco. So then, yeah, San Jose down that way. That's where we would have been. Again over those hills and on the other side. Also going to do a Cessna flight here. Yeah, so the next flight here is going to be a pattern. Once we land over in Napa, which is over out here in the northern end of the bay, the plan is for me to fly the pattern in the right seat. Get one last feel of the aircraft. A little bit of stutter there, huh? Not sure why that is. A little bit better feel for this aircraft before signing the paperwork, and then the plan after that. This is where it gets exciting. I'm going to buy this here. Excuse me. We're in Napa, California. I'm going to need to get this back home to Texas. So that's going to be the long-term thing. We're going to have, I believe 10 legs, if not maybe 9 or 10. I think 10. Yes, the Golden Gate Bridge is going to be just off there, I think. And again, Oakland right over this ridge, and then on the other side, San Francisco. So yeah, the first leg is going to be from Napa, California here to, I think, Fresno, California. And I'm going to fly 10 legs from Fresno, then down to Bakersfield. So we got Fresno, Bakersfield, I think then Henderson, which is like Vegas essentially. And then from there, I think to well, the Phoenix area, Glendale, Arizona, and then excuse me. After that, I think it's to Tucson, and then Las Cruces, Hobbs, New Mexico, Abilene, and then Fort Worth. So we're gonna go cross country in this thing. I'm gonna get a little bit better performance. I'm gonna be plugging straight in, but so it'll be better performance because be in VR, and because these VR segments take, you know, I have to do like the Steadicam version, which one is not. I'm not doing the Steadicam filter. It's real shaky and jittery. You can get to see what that looks like. As a matter of fact, I can do it. I can do a test here. So here, I'll just kind of, I'll look out the window, and I've got the filter on now, and then if I turn it off, it looks like, and the headset picks up like little micro movements, and it's not, even though I'm moving my head smoothly and slowly, the headset kind of jitters a little. So now when I put the filter back on now you can see this is what it looks like. What it does is it takes frames. It takes a certain range of the frames. I'm sorry, excludes a certain amount of pixels on the outside, and then it picks up little movements, and it sort of averages and centers them so that it can shift the whole picture a little bit to keep them sort of still. So it's not going like this, it's going like this. And it takes a while to render that stuff, so now you start to see the airport we're going to right down there. And we're getting the gear down already, even though we're a little far out. But let's go to the wing view again. There's Gary prepping us for landing. You can't really see us in the back, but we're back there. We got the gear down on this puppy. Inside. We'll get the flaps down full. You can see there. And we're on our final approach. Yeah, so because I have to do that rendering, it can only really do about 15 minutes of a render at a time without kind of crashing out. You can actually crash out the computer if the render's too long. On the software that I use is Movavi 17. I found out that 15 minutes is a sweet spot. So what I'm going to do with these cross-country flights is I'm going to do them in 15-minute chunks. I'll do 4 segments because the flights themselves are going to be over an hour, and I wouldn't want to show over an hour video anyway. That's kind of cool. You can see our shadow down there. It's kind of a neat view. So since I don't want to, you know, show like a 2-hour flight, I'll pare it down to no longer than an hour, and I'll do it in 4 phases. So the first phase will be sort of the, you know, the pre-flight prep and taxi out with the takeoff and climb out, and then the next phase will be finishing the climb out, level off at and leveling out at cruise, and in that part I'll be mostly just kind of shooting the breeze, talking about what's going on and taking a look at the airplane. The next phase is going to be from our top and descent as we sort of make our approach points, and then that final 4th phase is going to be the, you know, the final approach, the landing, and the taxi to our. Okay, so 4 different phases, no more than 15 minutes apiece, so maximum video length of an hour. And I got a little stutter going on here right now, and I'm not sure why, and I've had it recently with our new router, so I think I want to get my cable situation set up so I can plug in straight to the PC, so I'm wired in and I get the absolute best performance, especially for this cross country. Obviously this next flight is going to be the same setup, where we're just doing the pattern here at Napa. That's all the same, I think the same video. Flying to Napa and then flying the pattern, and then the next one's going to be when I own this thing and we're flying it down towards Texas. that's the plan, folks. And then later on in the year, I'm hoping to do about 7 or 8 legs further in. I'm going to get a 172 for a hunting lodge up in Colorado. So I'm going to buy it in Gillette, Wyoming, and fly it from there down through the Black Hills and into Loveland, Colorado. So I'll own this one, the Baron 58, and a Cessna 172, and then eventually a third one, maybe a Bonanza or some other higher performance one that can fly. I mean, this is higher performance too, but I want to get one where I can do Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, again, that scenery is the best, but this isn't bad. You know, flying in over these marshlands, these low-level sort of wetlands, the north area of the bay as we fly into Napa, California. And I can start to see the surrounding area over here. The airport's up ahead. We're going to land and taxi to the right. So yeah, Napa, California, real nice, obviously. Real swank area. A lot of vineyards, a lot of wineries and stuff like that. Crazy rich, so I'm going to look out. I don't know which window I want to look out as I'm coming in for landing. We're coming in right over these trees, and it looks like there's a road here too. Okay, we just came over the road. We're a little close to those trees for my comfort, to be honest. Looks like Napa's got a multi-runway airport. We just crossed that one. Floating a little. That's a nice landing, I think. Good job, Gare. Gare's a good pilot. He's gonna miss this thing. One more flight in this thing for him, and then he's handed over the keys. So he's gonna remember. He's gonna miss November 5-8 Echo uniform, but he'll get himself something new. So we're taxiing off here. I don't know if there's another. I think there's another aircraft on final over there. I don't know if you see this stutter that I see, but it's really smooth, and all of a sudden stuttery, and then it goes away. And that never used to happen with this sim, and I think it's my Wi-Fi. Yeah, moving forward, this guy's. We're not gonna cross. We're gonna wait for him to land. If I go back inside. Oops, that wasn't it. That was the wrong key. That was obviously to mute things. There he is. Yeah, and it kind of goes south because we're too close to the runway. That's what this game does when you're too close to traffic. The traffic kind of goes away. But we got too close to it, so now we're crossing runway, whatever that is. I think the other one said it was runway 6, so this is probably also runway 6, maybe 6 right. Or maybe that just was runway 6, I don't know. I think it only has 2 runways. We'll check and see. When we do the pre-flight, I'll show like a chart. I'll talk a little bit at the beginning. I'll show you a couple charts, kind of show you where we're going to fly. That'll be part of the briefing. So that'll be fun, yeah. So stick around, not just this video, but the next one where we're flying out of here towards Fresno. And again, for me, that's close to a 2-hour flight, but you're going to see, you know, an hour summary. Nice hills out there. Yeah, a real big wine country here, and you can see some of these swank aircrafts. These are some pretty wealthy people flying in for a weekend of wine tasting. They're looking at our little Baron saying, "Oh, they're cute." Like we're kids or something. Imagine what the facilities are like at Napa, you know, with all that money. Probably a pretty darn nice airport. I think we're not gonna come in by those guys. I think we're coming in by this Cessna right here. We're gonna pull up on the left side of it. But anyway, there was a little stutter from me. I don't know if we're just parked under his wing. Holy cow! All right, well. Thanks for watching, folks. We're going to tie this thing down, and we're going to go up and do a pattern. So stay tuned for that. Bye now. Hey everybody, Tommy G there. Now that we're done with that first one, we're going to do the short runway practice, get back up in the air, and do one more from the right seat. The last time in the right seat for this aircraft before I buy it. It's a short runway practice. At Napa, we're going to take off. The shorter runway is runway 1 right. So as you can see, normally we're on 1 left, but this is about as short a runway as you're going to want to use with the Baron 58 twin engine. So we're just going to take off immediately, turn left, do a left pattern, come back in and land on this very short runway. It'll be a challenge, only 2,300 feet long. So let's see how well we do that. Hey everybody, Tommy G here on the undercarriage, and taking a look right here's the wing, the top wing down. As we're going to roll out runway 1. This is the short field runway takeoff. Jump back inside real quick. A little bit of a crosswind. Here I am at the controls. Flying. I'm in the tape there. I got green. I'm going to rotate, pulling back on the yoke a little bit. Got positive rating. I'm going to put up the gear. And climbing out, trying to maintain a good airspeed. Banking out left already to get in this left pattern, and I'm watching my levels. I'm in the green, everything's good. I'm going to pull it back a little bit there. I'm a little hot on the RPMs, and I don't need to be going all that fast either because I'm in a pattern for a short runway landing. So I'm going to slow it down already here. I'm pulling back on the throttle. Like Gary's pulling back on the throttle for me. I'm also going to pull back on the little bit on the RPMs. And we're just going to do this left base pattern. I'll see if I can bring out the tablet. Imagine my legs there. Hold on. I didn't bring it out yet. Okay, we're going to do a left pattern here at this test. So I'm going to bring out the tablet. Hello. Bring out the tablet. Nope. Okay, well, it's not coming up. Don't worry about it. Just look out at Napa County, California. This is pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this landing. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna take Gary out to a winery in the area. Oh, here I got the tablet. Oh, I had it open. I felt it. Take Gary out to a winery. Make this left turn for the downwind. I'm gonna sign the paperwork over some burgers. And this puppy's gonna be mine. I'm gonna fly this baby back to Texas. That's going to be a long trip. Stay with us for that. Not on this episode, obviously, the next time around. Making a pretty standard rate turn, keeping it about 1,000 feet. Obviously, sea level is pretty visible here. So the airport's pretty close to sea level. I'm moving kind of fast, so we're gonna come back on the throttle quite a bit here. Because we're slowing down on the downwind. And this is where we'd sort of be talking to the tower, just telling them, you know, Napa Tower, this is 5-8 Echo Uniform. I think that's where we are, right? I thought I could find on here somewhere. It says 5-8 Bravo Bravo. But it says 5-8 Echo Uniform on the side of the aircraft, so I don't understand that necessarily. Let's go external again real quick just to see. We're doing the top, over the wing here. So here we are on the downwind. Yeah, we'd be talking to tower, just saying we're going to come back around for a short field landing, runway 6 right. And when we come around again, you'll be able to see why that's a little bit difficult. In a high-performance aircraft like this, the Baron 58 flies, as you notice. I'll jump back inside. Oops, I don't know what this is over the wing for Gary. Yeah, there's the 5-8 Echo Uniform. Jump back inside. Going to make our left turn here. This high-performance aircraft flies faster. I mean, here we are, 130 knots, and we're at half throttle. And in a Cessna 172, if you're going 130 knots, you get the throttle pegged, and you're and you're descending. So this sucker can go, as you can see here. I mean, a regular, you can go close to 200 knots, 190 knots, still in the green. So this thing lands at a faster airspeed. Obviously, the Cessna 172 is going to land around its final approach at 65, touchdown about 60. Here we're we're coming in about 85 on final, touchdown around 80. But when we're on regular final, it's closer to 100 knots, 90 knots on long final. But you can start to see around here. I'm looking over Gary's shoulder. There's the runway. We're going to make our left down here, but I'm going to put the flaps down. Oh, I have them down already to approach. We got the approach flaps. But I'm going to put them all the way down to land one more time here as I make my turn. And then I'll put the gear down. So I'm coming out a little bit wide, so I come back and make it again here. And now I'm going to make my left bank 6 right. From the right seat. Last time from the right seat. In the future I'll be flying from that left seat there. And it won't be with Gary, it's just going to be us. But like I showed you before, I got everything I need right here. I'm trying to coordinate I'm trying to make a nice standard rate turn. Nice and level. And as I'm coming around, I'm taking a look. I can see the runway there, but again, we're not landing on that main runway. With the landing gear now. That's going to bring our airspeed back quite a bit. We're not landing on the nice long runway that we came in on initially. We're going to be landing on the right runway. As you start to see it now, it's the one on the right there, and that's the short one. So we're going to come in a little bit slower than we normally would on a normal approach with a nice long runway. This runway is only, as you saw in the the pre-flight, it was only a little more than 2,000 feet. So we're coming in over the wetlands here, and I had my map open so I could take a look and make sure, kind of showing you there. There's that runway on the right. That's kind of what we're coming in on. And we're a little flat. We're a little low for it, but we're going to pull up now just a bit, because you can tell this 500 foot per minute descent rate would land us in those trees. We don't want that. We're ever aware of the potential for a go-around if we had to. Especially if we fudge this landing, because there's not a lot of wiggle room at a short runway like that. But it's this sort of thing is a good test to make sure that you can land at a shorter runway if you had to. Normally you would plan better for a longer runway, but you may need to land at a shorter runway airport if you're flying like to an alternate. You got a certain amount of fuel, and the weather at your destination airport's crappy. And you got to divert to an alternate, and maybe they have one that's just long enough like this, and you got to make it in. So it's good to practice these things. Nice area out here. All right, short final. We're just above that. We're at about the 85, like I said. I'm gonna pitch it forward just a little bit here though, because I'm a bit high now, and I got to come in over the highway right here. There's the airport facility road going off there. Now I gotta pay attention here. Right now I want to start to slow it down, because like I said, I don't want extra airspeed on this runway, but you don't want to stall it. I mean, that is the worst thing you can do. So we gotta make sure we're going fast enough. I'm gonna start to cut the throttle here as we cross the highway. And now I don't hear the stall horn. I'm gonna flare out. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. And I'm starting to hit the brakes, although I don't want to slam them on and skid off there. That's normally where I'd want to go in, but we don't want to ruin our brakes. No reason for that. We put the flaps up, take the fuel pump off. And they're gonna say exit when able on the right, exit when able on the right. 5-8 Echo uniform. And then obviously there's no more runway up ahead, so we're gonna exit at the right here. This is the next one we go to. Thankfully, that happens to be where we want to go anyway, so slow it here. Again, you don't have your hands on the wheel. You don't touch the wheel with this, for anyone who's not a pilot already. I guess you pilots already know. We're steering with our feet and the rudder. So I would come off here and say contact ground on whatever their ground frequency is. We'll find that out when we fly out to Napa ground. This is 5-8 Echo uniform. Request parking, and tell us straight ahead for parking. On the right, park next to the other Baron over there. So we're going to park to the left of that guy. We don't know that guy, but I call him that guy. Again, look at all these corporate jets. Something you probably would see in Napa, California. And coming to the parking here, you can see he's kind of He's kind of following that line. We don't want to park right here because we'd hit wings like we do the other guys. So we're going to take this other line right here. Coming around now. Almost came to a stop, so we want to come ahead and get this right here. Gonna line up on his left, kind of looking at him to determine. That's about good. Okay, there you go. Alright, so we're gonna shut this thing down, go to a winery, have some fun, and sign some papers. Next time we'll be flying this, it'll be ours. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye now.